Hello and welcome to the Honeybee Knits podcast channel. My name is Melissa, aka Honeybee Knits. I am coming to you from Springboro, Ohio, where I live with my husband, our dog, and 2 cats. It is Saturday, March 2nd, and it is about 6 p.m. and I am very casual today. I don't really have a rhyme or reason for how this podcast is gonna go. I already know there's gonna be several times where I have to stop and restart because I haven't drawn winners for February sock knit along, and I get to draw a new Whip It Thursday project today. So I will be stopping to go pull it off my shelf, which you guys can't see that part of my shelf right now. I am slowly, you might see those bins over here. There are more to the left. I am slowly attempting to do some organization to these shelves. Haven't watched Marie Kondo, haven't read her books, but I have seen a lot of like memes and stuff on Instagram, so I'm familiar with her technique of, if it doesn't bring you joy, it doesn't bring you joy, toss it, get rid of it, donate it, sell it. And so I have this bin, the sticker is facing in, not out, and it's gonna drive me nuts because these ones are all facing out. I'm not OCD, I swear, but you know, my mom is OCD, my husband's OCD, like clinically diagnosed. And so I do tend to pick up on a few of those tendencies, but my shelves have been driving me nuts recently and I haven't had time to organize them. So I have just been doing one step at a time. I did a small de-stash I think in January. And then this in February, I went through and stole an idea from Yarn Hoarder and picked out 10 sweater quantities that I want to knit this year, or attempt to knit this year or next year, whenever. And I printed patterns for them and selected the yarn and put them in their own little box. And I plan on doing that for a few things. Other things I just plan on putting in one big bin, aka any Knit Picks Dishy or Felici, any of my Gobstoppers, Nomadic Yarns, any of my sock yarn, kind of group them together by dyer. And then this is a bunch of Lolo did it. But anything else, there's a bunch of yarn behind this shelf, all of this over here. I will be picking projects for, and if I don't have a project picked out already for it, I will be destashing it. So eventually we'll get there one step at a time. I'm just working on it a little bit each month, and hopefully by the end of the year I have organized shelves. So this coffee mug I'm going to talk about real quick. Levi, well, first of all, I haven't podcasted in 3 weeks. So over 3 weeks. I was supposed to podcast last Friday, but I mentioned that I probably wouldn't because I had my first trunk show. It wasn't really, I guess I would call it a trunk show. There was a knitting retreat hosted by Lamykins Hideaway, which is a yarn store in Hamilton, Ohio, which is just south of me. And I was invited to vend there. And it was my first vending in-person experience, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed getting to meet so many fabulous knitters, talk to them, help them pick out colors, show them some patterns that have been knit up with my yarn, and then at the end of the day, when things slow down, sit and knit and chat with them. So Levi was able to take some time away from his busy life right now because he has got a lot going on. And I promise, guys, I'm going to force him to podcast again as soon as he can. I know that he's got a lot going on in his life right now, so he needs a few months. and I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to see what's going on with him, you can go check out his Instagram page where he talked about it a little bit. But all is well, good changes, happy changes, but he's unable to podcast right now. So I will hopefully get him back into podcasting once things settle down for him a bit. But he was able to make the trip down and help me to vend, which I'm very thankful for, because I have a bit of social anxiety. And when I get overwhelmed, I tend to shut down. And so it was very helpful to have somebody there that could step up and do some of the talking and chatting while I was doing some of the administrative things. So I really appreciate that. But this is the first time we've seen each other since Christmas. So he brought my Christmas gift with him, and I will show the rest later, but this is a part of it, and it's literally the best present I've ever gotten. So it is a coffee mug that he hand painted. Okay, so first of all, it says HBK right there on the handle. It's got flowers and bees. I'm just gonna slowly turn it for you guys. There's another bee. My favorite bee is coming up. Look at this itty bitty one. This is like my favorite. He's just so itty bitty and happy. So I think we've got, so this is the baby bee. This is the mama bee. And then this one, he looks kind of grumpy. So we're going to call him the daddy bee. And on the bottom, I didn't think this through. There is coffee in here. I will try to tilt it a bit. And he put his initials and 2018 underneath. And I love this, like I can't even tell you. This is such a special gift, and I have been using this mug all week. So this is actually my second cup of coffee today. Actually within the last couple of hours. I had to run some errands this morning. Needed to go to the grocery store. Had a little bit of a meltdown. Not towards anybody, just anxiety took over a little bit, and I came home and crashed instead of going to the grocery store. So later this evening, maybe when I like to go to the grocery store along like 10, 11 p.m. when nobody else is there because of my social anxiety. Sometimes it doesn't bother me. It's really weird because sometimes it doesn't bother me at all, and then other times I just can't do it. So today's one of those days apparently. I am very casual today. I've got, it's Saturday. I've got, I just put this, this is my color this year, guys. I want to wear everything in this color. I want to knit everything in this color. It's my color. All the different shades of like these burgundy, red, purple, pinky, like I love them. But my other shirt that I had on was a similar color. I think I've worn it on a podcast before. And I spilled food on it. Jason took me to a really nice lunch and I got food all over myself. Typical Melissa, not surprised. So I just changed into this right before I started podcasting. So today I have 5 finished objects. 1 whip. I'm making a bit of an adjustment to my crafting schedule, which I have not stuck to over the past couple weeks, just because I've been so busy and I am trying to get back on track, desperately trying. So I will be showing not only finished objects, I only have 1 whip, and so I decided I'm going to show you some planned projects that I plan to cast on this week, because I finished 5 things. I get to cast on, maybe not 5 things, but I get to cast on a few things. So I will show you all of that. I've got a little bit of spinning, not much. Again, I haven't spun in about a week, and when I did spin, I didn't get very much done, and I don't remember what you guys have seen and what you haven't seen. So if any of this is repeated, I apologize in advance. And a few acquisitions, not very many. I've been trying to be good. So I will be drawing for winners towards the end of the podcast for the February sock sets. I'm in shop mode. I will be drawing for winners for the February sock knit along at the end of this podcast, as well as hopefully putting up some pictures of some stuff that is available in the shop right now. I did a huge ready to ship update this morning, and everything in my shop is ready to ship. I have about 295 skeins that I put in there this morning, some mystery mini kits, all kinds of fun stuff. So I want to put some pictures up of some of that stuff for you guys so you can see what's available. And yes, I do have some sweater quantities in a few tonals ready to ship right now. I know that's something that is highly requested for indie dyers. It is difficult to execute because we have to figure out, what, in order to have a ready to ship sweater quantity update, we have to know not only what colors you guys want, what type of patterns you're knitting, so we know, do you want to add mohair, do you want to end DK, do you want to end fingering, also we need to know how many skeins you guys need, right? Because one sweater's quantity can be anywhere from 3 to 6, 7 skeins of yarn, and if you're trying to do multiple sweaters quantities in each tonal and each base, it can get quite expensive to upfront those costs. So that's why a lot of dyers do dye to order. That's why I was doing dye to order, because I would rather spend my time dyeing something I know that you guys want than dyeing stuff that you guys don't want. So but that being said, I don't think the dye to order shop methodology is necessarily right for me in my shop right now. I wasn't selling a whole lot, and I'm not exactly sure if it was just the timing or what it was, but a lot of my sales dropped off at the beginning of the year, which is fine. I understand that. Not a problem. I don't make my living off of this, so it didn't impact me or my family. But I had come out with a lot of new tonals that were really beautiful. I had worked on my photography skills, so I was taking more accurate photos. And so I put a lot of time into really trying to refine my shop. And the one thing that I think probably didn't help was switching to dyed to order. So I do have a ready to ship update. It's the biggest one I've ever done. There's lots of stuff in the store right now ready to go out the door. So if you guys want to go take a look at that, I will be putting some photos at the end of this to show you a few new colorways that I have. I also have a few new bases in there, so go take a look. But let's go ahead and get started with the yarny stuff, because I've been talking for 12 minutes now and haven't even showed you one FO. So my first FO comes with a bit of an announcement. And it is my Starry Night hat. So in case I don't remember if I talked about it, what the inspiration behind this was, but my mom's birthday was in January, and I was looking, her favorite painting is Starry Night. Jason's favorite painting is Starry Night. And I was looking for kind of a unisex pattern that could be knit for both men and women that represented or was inspired by that painting. And I couldn't really find anything. So I designed this hat. And it was supposed to be a birthday gift, but designing is a lot. It's really difficult for me. It doesn't come naturally, and I really, quite frankly, don't enjoy it. I put up an Instagram post about designing and how I am choosing to quite literally hang up my designing hat. For the foreseeable future, I will not be designing patterns. This pattern will not be released as a paid for pattern. I will eventually get around to typing it up because I've had a few requests for it, and I'll just send it to you guys. But it took me 2 months to get a finished prototype, and this is just one size. It doesn't include going up or down sizing, and I didn't enjoy the process at all. It got to the point where I had set aside Mondays for designing time. I think it's beautiful. I love it. But I had set aside time on Mondays for designing specifically. And I got to the point where I would dread Mondays, not only because I had to go back to work, but because I had to design and I couldn't knit what I wanted to. So I decided I am reallocating Mondays, and actually I'm going to shuffle some things around I'll talk about in a little bit. And I'm no longer designing. So again, this hat, hopefully within the next month or so, I will take some time to get it. I'm not publishing it. I will just get it typed up and then send it out to whoever wants it. But here it is. So I did block it, and I do recommend that you wet block this hat very gently. Like, you want to soak it, but when you pull it out of the water, you squish it together in the water and get as much out as you can before you pull it out of the water so that it doesn't stretch. And then make sure that you have some sort of head form to put it on, because this did stretch quite a bit, but it didn't stretch as much as it could have had I done it differently. Now, I'm not a hat person, but I wanted to show it on. And here it is. So this is actually what's called mosaic knitting. As you can tell, it is a bit slouchy. Now, if you don't want it slouchy, you could do the increases sooner. You could take out a repeat of these stars, or you could not block it. But because of the mosaic knitting in it, I did find that my stitches were a bit uneven, and I needed to block it to fix that. And it also didn't 100% fix it. I do have some areas that I'm just not 100% happy with. This is in the navy and panning for gold colorways. And yeah, I love the increase. I should have brought my head form up so I could put it on there. But anyway, I do love the hat. I think I really like the stars and the theme behind it. The colors are gorgeous. I just don't typically find patterns that I like to knit more than once, and it was really difficult for me. This is my second one that I knit. It was difficult to get the motivation to do a third and fourth one for sizing, and I just dreaded doing it, and so I'm not going to design anymore. But if you would like a copy of this pattern, stay tuned. More than likely what's going to happen is I'm going to type it up and just put it in the Ravelry group eventually as a free pattern, because I don't know how to publish. I don't want to go through publishing, and I am not going to charge any money for it. I'll show you the inside, what the inside looks like. There it is. And no guarantees, because it hasn't been test knitted, that there are not errors, but I'm pretty sure there's not. It could probably be improved upon a little bit, but anyway, hope you guys like it. And like I said, I like the hat. It's not the hat. It's just, I am tired of looking at this hat because I had to knit to I'm not, I don't know. I'm not a designer. But anyway, there's my first finished object. My second finished object are my Desert Vista Dye Work socks. I have no idea what colorway this is. I think these sock blockers are from Burning Impressions. I know they're not from Knitting Left. I can't remember where they're from though, specifically. I will say that these are supposed to be medium sock blockers, and normally I have no problem with my size 7.5 being on these, but as you can see, these don't quite come to the heel. The heel starts way down here, so I think they are a bit big. But these are my One at a Time with Afterthought heels. And what colorway is this? Man, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. If you know what colorway this is, put it in the comments below. I don't have the project bag. It's over there, and I don't have the tag, so I can't tell you what colorway it is, and that's sad because it is a gorgeous colorway. So these were my February socks. Oh, was it hot chocolate and marshmallows? I think it was yes, there we go. Hot chocolate and marshmallows. That's what this one was. So there's those. I am getting some severe holes in my Afterthought heels, and I know that there's a tutorial online that I've watched several times, And I switched to the method of putting waste yarn in instead of using stitch markers. And I think I'm going to go back to the stitch markers because she has a method with using stitch markers where you use the yarn you snip to prevent the holes. And I think I need to go back to that because I'm getting some pretty nasty holes in mine, which don't really bother me. They're just going to go in my drawer. In fact, I'm probably going to slide these. Oh, yeah, those are a little bit rough. I'm going to have to sand those down. Just gonna slide them in my drawer anyway. But here they are. They're very pretty. I like them. So there is my second finished object, a pair of socks. My next finished object is one that has been on the needles for a very long time. Not my oldest project, but close. I think I casted this on around, it was 12 days of cast-ons, I think 3 Christmases ago. So I think it's been on my nails for about 3 years. And it is my Outlander shawl by Unraveled Designs. You guys have seen me working on this several times, but I finally finished it and it's all blocked. And it is beautiful. I love the shawl. Okay, so first of all, I do have a few complaints, not complaints, but suggestions if you're going to knit this, things that I would do differently. So first of all, this was knit with Lolo Did It yarn. Both the colorways are retired now, so I think one of them is called Kerfuffle, and I don't remember what the other one is called, but this is the Outlander shawl by Unraveled Designs on Etsy. It was a knit along. It was a cowl for one of the releases of the one of the season releases. So I've never seen Outlander. I've never watched Outlander. It's on my to-do list eventually. But who knows when I'll get to that. So one thing I did not like about the shawl shaping, and I think this is actually how you do the shaping in the Tecumseh sweater as well, is you do rapid increases. So you cast on so many stitches and you knit this first section right here, right? And then you, in one row, you basically double the amount of stitches you have. So no matter how much stretching I did to block it, I still had these dips where on those increase rows because it increased so fast on both sides. And as you go down, they get worse. So there was another one. And this one wasn't so bad because it was lace at the bottom, so you couldn't really tell, but this one was pretty bad. So firstly, that's one thing I did not like about the pattern. Second, I stretched this thing, okay? I stretched it. And it is not nearly as wide as what they show in the picture. Now you can continue going on in the lace section to make it longer, but it won't do anything for the width because you're not actually adding any stitches in the bottom part. You're just doing the lace repeat. So try to scoot back here. But that being said, these cables are heavenly. They were a pain in the ass, which is why it took me so long to finish this shawl, because they are 1-stitch cables. And I'm not a cable girl. I don't typically enjoy doing cables. I mean, they're okay, small cables. It's not that I don't enjoy them. I enjoy them in certain patterns. Like I didn't have a problem with it in my Find My Way. I'm not having a problem with it in my Spellman. I don't have a problem in it in my Chunky Beanie that I have knit several times by Prim Knits. But for some reason when I get like on socks, maybe it's the yarn size or the needle size. I've done cables on socks and I've done this cable. I didn't like doing it. But I think it's beautiful. The shawl is not nearly wide enough, so it will be a gift because it will not comfortably fit me without slipping off my shoulders. But yeah, so I really didn't. I do love the shawl. I love the shawl. There are a few design things, like I mentioned, that I would have changed. And somebody took this concept and made it into a sweater yoke, and it's gorgeous. So check that out on Ravelry. And if I had a million years, I would do the same for myself, but I'm not a designer and I don't feel like modifying the pattern to a sweater, so probably never will, but I think it's beautiful. Yeah, so there is that. So, in a few minutes, I will be picking out a new Whip It Thursday project. So how exciting. Because I've been working on that one, I think, for 6 months now. It's been a while since I picked out a new whip for my whip jar. Okay, finished object number 4. I am in love. Okay, so best way to show this is probably start at one end and go to the next. This is my Adventurous wrap by Amba O'Brien. And this was my Honeybee Knits advent calendar. So, you can't really get a good representation of each individual colorway because it is very limited in the shawl. So how many rows you do is limited. However, you can get a good representation of the advent calendar overall and all the different colorways that were included in that. So I love this so much. It's exactly what I wanted. I have been craving the most scrappiest of shawls. And guys, I am so happy with this and how it turned out. And I love these colors so much. Some of these, I wrote down recipes for all of these. So if I am lacking some inspiration one day, I might recreate some. This one right here, in the section with the blues and pinks, that's one of my favorites. This mauve-y one right here, I don't know if you can see it. That one's, oh man, I love it. I love it. I'm so happy with it, and how it turned out. And this might be my new go-to for the rest of the winter. It's March, but it is cold, so I foresee needing a shawl for quite a while longer. But yeah, I'm just really thrilled with how this turned out. I'm so happy with it. And it's a memory, right? This is my 2017 advent calendar, guys. 2018, where's my brain at? Oh, look at this pink. You know I'm a pink fan. But I think I did a really good job limiting how much pink went into this. I'm just showing you triangle by triangle. But yeah, this is one of my favorite sections right here. That's gonna have to be repeated. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And it's exactly what I wanted. And I had so much fun with my 2018 Advent shawl. So this means that tomorrow, now I have had some obligation knitting to do the last couple weeks. So on Sundays, I have pretty much just been doing my squares in my blankets. So I have my Cozy Memories blanket. When I finish a row on that, I will bring it up and show you. And my stained glass blanket, and when I finish a square on that, I will bring it up and show you. My stained glass blanket is just using Honeybee Knits yarn, so that's exciting. Eventually I will be getting pictures of each individual square, and I will be using that as samples in the shop. Oh, look at that one. This is really pretty. I like that. So anyway, so this is done. And it's been done for a few weeks. I will be working on my Winter Wonderland of Minis wrap next by Laura Brady from the Knit for Brands podcast, using my Teeny Button advent calendar. I don't know why I'm so out of breath today, but so I will hopefully put a section or two on that tomorrow after I put my squares in my Cozy Memories blanket, because I have 2 scrappy projects left, which include my adventure from leftover from Advent, and I only work on those on Sundays for Scrappy Sunday. So The first one is the Winter Wonderland and Minis Wraps, and the second one is Dust of Snow using Suburban Stitcher Advent Calendar. So once those two are finished up, I'm going to start making some dishcloths on Sundays. Try to do a dishcloth a week. So I will spend the first couple weeks getting caught up on this past year. And then after that, once I get caught up on that, it'll be free for all for the rest of the days on Sundays, which is exciting because I like knitting on Sundays. So my last finished object, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about here because I am planning on recording another video after this one for a review. Hey guys, Future Melissa here, and I just wanted to let you know that I did decide to just use this video clip as my review for the Bijou Basin yarn. I feel like I talked about it enough in the podcast that there's no need for a separate video. There's not much more that I can say about this yarn other than I really did enjoy working with it. And I also want to say thank you to Bijou Basin Ranch for partnering with me for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and consider taking a look at some of their yarns that they offer. This is a review from, and I don't have the tag. I am awesome. So this is Bijou Basin Ranch in their Gobi base, which is 35% baby camel, 65% mulberry silk, and 435 yards per 100 grams. And I believe this one is called their Hummingbird colorway, I believe. And here is what I made. I made these Canyon Steps Cow by Stephanie Goodwin Ritter, and it was actually designed for this yarn. So I will put it on first, and then I'll take it off and show you up close. Here it is. It is getting a bit washed out. The sun has officially set, so I just have my warm lighting in here, which is never good for showing colors accurately, but it is a bit washed out. The colors are definitely more saturated in person, but yeah, it's just a nice soft, it's got baby camel and silk in it, and so it was extremely nice to work with, and I really did enjoy knitting with this yarn. I will say if you have a problem with slippage on your needles, that I would recommend using wood needles. I don't. I prefer metal needles, but some people. But here is the pattern up close. So you have these small squares at the bottom, and then you go to the medium squares, and you have one giant square at the top. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I think I'm going to give this to a coworker once it dries. It is still a bit damp because I just blocked it today. I think I'm going to give this to a coworker because she saw me knitting on it yesterday when I was in a meeting, and she was like, "Oh, I love those colors," and I was like, "Really?" Because they're not really my colors. And I was like, I will give this to you when I am done, because anybody that appreciates color and a hand knit item deserves to have a hand knit item. So I think she probably has claimed that. All right, that's it for finished objects. So before I get into future projects, I want to show you my one whip that I have. Oh, let me show you some spinning real quick. So I don't remember if you've seen this or not, but I did a review, I think June or August, July-ish, I don't know. And I spun up the main color of this. And then last time, I think you had seen this, I was spinning up the cream color to ply it with. So I have 2 bobbins plied, well, 1 full bobbin and 1 almost half bobbin. And I still have about 80 grams left of this yarn. So I decided to ply up some more of the natural, spin up some more of the natural, and I'm going to spend some time, hopefully this week, fingers crossed, if I can get back to my crafting schedule this week, ply these together. So when I apply these together, this spin will be done and I can start something new. So hopefully the next time you see this, it'll be a done, full, finished skein, and I will have something new on my bobbin. I haven't got to spin that much the past couple weeks, and it's kind of making me sad. We've been so incredibly busy. I'll get to that at the end, but so my next whip is my Spellman sweater, which was released yesterday. Oh my gosh, this is probably my most favorite sweater I've ever knit. I haven't knit that many, but I've knit a few, and I love working with this mohair. So first of all, this is my Smashed Mulberry colorway in my Fluffy Bee base, which is mohair, and my MCN base, which my Luxe base, which is my MCN base. And this is Smashed Mulberry, and I do have sweaters quantities of this available in the shop right now. So if you want to make a Spellman sweater with the same yarn I'm using, go get it, because there is enough in the shop for you to do so. And if not, or if you choose want a different color, just message me, and I do custom orders. So not much progress on this one, unfortunately. I really wanted to have this done to wear my trunk show, or at least split for the sleeves, and that just didn't happen. This one has been put to the side a little bit because I just had a lot going on. I honestly, okay, so I have a lot of finished objects for you guys, but I want you to know I have not had much knitting time. I just happened to have quite a few projects that I was really close to finishing. The most knitting time I had was the weekend I last podcasted 3 weeks ago, and that's when I got most of the knitting done. Anything else has been a little bit here or there since then, and it'll probably be a while before you guys see me have a bunch of finished objects again, because like I said, I just happen to have a few projects that were all close to finishing, and I was able to finish them up. So, and that was just by working on them here and there. So for example, my Whip It Thursday project, my hat, my cowl, my adventurous wrap, all of those were already whips and that I had been working on. And the only new cast on was my Desert Vista Dye Work socks, which you guys know, socks for me are super fast. But anyway, so I am close to splitting for the sleeves. I think I have 2 rows left, 1 increase row. And then I've got to do some body shaping, and then I'll split for the sleeves. I was going to get there the last Saturday after my show, and I was using my signatures, and I had too many stitches on my needles, and I was pulling and tugging, and my cable broke. So I switched them to my Jimmy Beans Wools needles and knit 1 row. But that's all. I was frustrated and tired and went to bed after that, and I haven't touched it since. So it's been a week since I've been able to work on this sweater. And I did get I ordered new cables from Signature Needle Arts. I got a 32-inch and a 40-inch. And so I'm going to, next time I work on this, I'm going to switch back to my signatures so that my gauge doesn't change and work on it there. But here is the sleeve details. So we got the cable and the bobbles, and then there we go. So again, not much progress, but I love the tonality of this yarn. I love the color. I'm just really happy with how this is turning out. And again, I want this more than anything right now. But trying to get caught up on stuff. I felt a bit of pressure and anxiety about the amount of whips that I have and the amount of projects I want to knit. So I think what's going to happen is I have 2 reviews left, and then I'm no longer doing reviews. And until those 2 reviews are done, Fridays and Mondays are going to be dedicated to working on those 2 projects. Once those 2 are done, Mondays are going to be for sweater knitting, because I love sweater knitting. And I think it's a fantastic project to replace the design knitting that I hated. Not that I hated the hat, I just hated the process of designing. So Mondays will be sweater knitting. Tuesdays will remain spinning Tuesdays. And typically, yeah, we'll just leave it there. Spinning Tuesdays. I will say sometimes I get done with spinning early and then I knit a little bit. So if I do, it'll probably be sweaters, but whatever, it'll probably be whatever's closest to being finished, to be honest. Wednesdays, diamond painting, which I have not done in 2 weeks and I plan to catch up on this week. And I will show you the finished canvas when I'm done with it. I'm not going to lug it up and down the stairs, because I do work on it at my kitchen table because it's better lighting down there. And I don't want to get beads everywhere. So I'm going to show those when I finish. I have 2 more. And then when I finish those canvases, I'm probably not going to order anymore. I do enjoy diamond painting, but I enjoy knitting more, and diamond painting kind of hurts my neck and back. So because I'm leaning over, and it's hard on my eyes late at night. It's probably more of a summertime thing that I should be doing when it's lighter outside longer, but anyway, tangent, but diamond painting, once those 2 canvases are done in the next, I'd say probably 3 or 4 months, I'm not going to order anymore. And Wednesdays will probably get a new dedication for projects. So for now, diamond painting Wednesdays, Thursdays are Whip It Thursdays, Fridays are Small Project Fridays. So those will, after my reviews are done, it will be Small Project Friday, where those will be my one skein projects. Saturdays are Sock Saturdays, and Sundays are Scrappy Sundays. So I have plans. But anyway, here's my sweater. I'm happy with it. I love it, and I can't wait to get more progress on it. And hopefully I get more progress on it before you guys see me next. But I have a lot of catching up to do for spinning and diamond painting. So we'll see. And reading. I'm behind on my reading, and that's one of my main goals right now, is to get caught up in my reading for the year. So that is that. So I am going to move into planned projects. So speaking of Small Project Friday, this technically doesn't fall into the small project category because it will be a 2 skein project, but it is a review. And so my next review is Manos del Uruguay Feliz. And this is one of their new bases. It is 70% merino superwash, 30% modal, approximately 350 yards per 100 grams. So it's close to being a sport weight. It's a heavy fingering. And this colorway is Wildflowers. So if you don't know about Manos del Uruguay, I call it Uruguay, it might be Uruguay. Sorry about my pronunciation. But if you are not aware, they are well, they explain it better than I do. So let me read this to you. Manos del Uruguay, the Hands of Uruguay, is a non-profit organization which assembles women in cooperatives throughout the countryside of Uruguay. The aim of the organization is to bring economic and social opportunities to rural women. We are proud members of the World Fair Trade Organization, and then they tell you where each skein was dyed and who the artisan was. So this one was dyed in Fraile Muerto, I believe that's how you say it, and the artisan was Laura. So one of these is more saturated than the other. So I am just contemplating, rotating skeins, switching skeins, I forget what it's called. I've done it before, but the word is not coming to me right now. When I knit this up, oh, you want to be naked, do you? So we're gonna make this naked, as Alicia from Knit for Brains calls it, because it just popped open. So look at these colors. They are more muted than what I normally go for. That's what I'm finding with a lot of the reviews that I get. I think that's, guys, you've got to knit what you love. And I love experiencing new fibers and new brands. And I have enjoyed that journey so much, but the colors are not my colors. And so I find it difficult to want to work on them, but it does push me outside of my comfort zone. Gives me an opportunity to work with some stuff I normally wouldn't choose to knit with. And it does give me a bit of that watercolor effect, right? Which I love watercolors. I have a watercolor tattoo. So anyway, so you guys are wondering what this is going to be, right? This is going to be the With Grace in Your Heart shawl by the Crazy Sock Lady. So I have been dying to knit that shawl since it came out, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity. And it does require 2 skeins of yarn. I originally wanted to make it out of my Smashed Mulberry colorway, but apparently I want to make everything out of my Smashed Mulberry colorway because I chose that for my Spellman sweater. So I decided I would knit it out of this. So that will be cast on by the next time you see me. It'll probably be cast on Monday, because review Monday, right? Until those are done. And then I have an acquisition to show that will be, and I will show you more acquisitions here in a bit, but this is going to be my March Desert Vista Dye Works socks. And if you haven't gotten yours yet, look away, because I just got this a few days ago. This is the exclusive skein for knitting all 12 months of socks last year. So here we go. This one is Rose Champagne. And I don't know if everybody got sparkle, but guys, I got sparkle. Last year she didn't send sparkle. And I'm wondering if it's because I buy and knit mostly sparkle from her. Or if it was just because it was, you know, Rose Champagne is sparkly, as to why I got sparkle, but I love it. I'm so happy with it. And, I am excited, to knit it up into socks. I love it so much that I couldn't wait. Like, it came in the mail. I'm like, yep, that's the socks I'm knitting in March. So they're going to be casted on right away. So yeah, and this is on her gold Stellina base, which oh, okay, so this is a new base for her because she normally has silver Stellina. So this is 75% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, 10% gold Stellina, which 75, 85, 95. Okay, so it can't be 10% gold Stellina because 75 plus 20 and 10 equals 105%. You can't have 105% of anything. So maybe this is just super special yarn, and it is 105%. Defies the laws of mathematics. But anyway, it's gorgeous and I love it. And that's the one good thing about this crappy lighting, is that it does really show off sparkle really well. That's something I realized when I first started podcasting. But anyway, so I will be caking this up tonight, and hopefully casting on while I am editing my podcast. The next planned project, remember this shelf? This is my Rhinebeck shelf. Rhinebeck is in 8 months. Seems like forever away, right? Especially when we're looking forward to it. But it's not forever away when you have a sweater, 3 pairs of socks, 3 spinning projects, 2 shawls, and a pair of mitts to knit before Rhinebeck. So it's time to cast on something for Rhinebeck, starting small, socks. This is the Haverland, was this the Rhinebeck colorway? I mean, it was exclusive to Rhinebeck originally, but I think they released, oh, this is the Shelly Can colorway that they had at Rhinebeck. And then I also got the matching coordinating mini, which is Shelly Can Lavender. You could actually get any of these to match, and I chose the lavender. So this is 20 grams, and I think I'm gonna do heels and toes I don't know if I have enough to do heels and toes. I'll do toes and then I'll weigh it, and if I still have 10 grams left, I'll do heels. So, yeah, there it is. So, hoping to cast these on before the next podcast. And my goal would be, I have a goal to finish 3 pairs of socks in March, or at least start 3 pairs of socks. I need to finish these 2 pairs and then start a pair for Jason, because he has been on my butt to start. I bought, guys, I never should have showed him this yarn. I bought him, I bought from Mustache Yarns, I bought their Dark Side of the Moon colorway. And I bought it in sport by accident. And he wanted me to make it for him and his friend Adam. I made Adam the Doctor Who scarf. He is very knitworthy. We're huge Dark Side of the Moon fans. And so I said, well, I'll make you a hat and I'll make you socks, because I got sport weight and I got sock weight. And I don't make socks with sport weight, something I want to branch into, but my brain can't handle it right now. I just now found a recipe that works for Jason's feet. I don't want to change it. So he likes shorties, so not a problem, but he's like, oh, full skein, make me multiple shorties, because that's what he is. And then his friend Adam has huge feet. So Jason has small feet for a guy. So I get like knitting socks for him. And my dad, his feet aren't that bad either. So I don't mind knitting socks for them. But then like Adam's feet are quite big. So we'll see. But anyway, I need to get him a pair of those before he just tells me that I can't knit anything else until the socks are done, which he's already tried. Doesn't work that way. But anyway, I'd like to at least get him started. So finish 2 pairs, start a 3rd pair. That's my goal for March. Today is Sock Saturday, so I will be casting this on. And I've been trying to be semi-monogamous, okay? Because I have so much, so many different projects, because I pick a project a day, that it's difficult to have multiple of that same type of project. So for example, I don't want to like cast both of these on today and then rotate between them for the next couple Saturdays. No, I want to cast this on, finish this pair, and then on a Saturday in a few weeks, cast this one, finish this pair. That's the plan. I already have plenty of sock whips that I will be getting to eventually. But first I need to finish some obligation knitting. So my next project, this will be where I have to take my first break, because remember this, guys? If you have been watching for a long time, last year, at the beginning of the year, I created a whip jar and a book jar, and I picked a whip. Every time I finished one, I picked a new one out. Well, my book jar, out the window, right? Because I added a bunch of books to my collection that I want to read, and I didn't update my book jar, so now I just pick whatever. Whip jar, still going in full effect, especially because I haven't picked one in 6 months. So I do let myself pick a new one if it's a project that's going to stress me out and I don't feel like knitting. And if that's the case, probably should just frog it, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, one time. So if the first one comes out and I don't feel like working on it, I'll pick something else. And if it comes out the second time, then obviously it's meant to be. So, not looking. Whip jar, I think, oh, one fell out. I guess that's the one that's meant to be, right? Oh, what is it? Wah, wah, wah. Eggsy socks. Out of all the projects, this is the one that I did not want. And I think I pulled this last time too. I'm putting it back in. I'm going to pick one more time. If they come out a second time, let's shake this up really good so they don't come out a second time, then I will work on them. They're going to be a gift eventually, so that's why they need to be done. But I just don't feel like working on them. So, it's a cabled sock. I don't like cabled socks. It's too difficult. Well, okay, so I like cabled socks when there's like 3 stitches over 3 stitches or 6 over 6. This is a 1 over 1. I'm just not a fan. So, let's see what we got. Oh, shit. Okay, guys. All right. Boo Knits 2017. Wah, wah, wah. couple problems with this. If you know anything about my knits, mystery knit-alongs. They are lace, they're beaded, and this one happens to be barely casted on. So I'm going to pause here, go grab it, and bring it back because I can't choose again. So here we go. Who knows, maybe I'll love it, but it's going to be a fun one. Another fun. I went from cables to lace on Thursdays. Why are all my Whip It Thursday projects like really different? Why couldn't I have picked out like my What the Fade, which is like got literally just a garter section left? Anyway, this is my system and I choose this life, so I will be back. Hi guys, I'm back. Oh my gosh, can you just like, I just opened this up, I'm like, okay. So first of all, we do have some Hedgehog Fibers lace. Beautiful colorway. Okay, so actually, first of all, check out this bag, guys. We know who made this bag, right? Levi from WTF Knitting. And I still have the tag on it because he wrote me, I'm going to call him out because normally this stuff is private and we keep it to ourselves, right? But, I mean, come on. This is 2017. I bought it in October of 2017 from Levi when he had his bag update. And this is the message he wrote to me. Melissa, wow, what a crazy ride. I am so thankful that I have met you and became friends, all because of podcasting. Now get on the Leviism yarn like, I don't know what that means. I don't know. Thanks for always supporting the podcast, Levi. So I always keep my notes for my friends. So here's the bag, and it is a Boo Knits Mystery Knit Along. So this is a very spooky theme, right? Apparently a very purple theme too. I love this one. I love it. Look at that. Look at that stitching. Oh my God, you guys. I'm telling you, when he gets his new, well, I can't, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to like beg him to go back into making bags because this bag is fabulous. Fabulous. It's a little wrinkled because it's been sitting on my shelf for over a year. Guys, okay, so let me start with the yarn. So this is Hedgehog Fibers Merino Lace in the Spell colorway. I think, yeah, Spell. There it is. And this is what it looks like. It's purple, guys. I told you, purple theme, right? Perfect bag for it. I'm probably gonna rip this out and start over because I have no clue where I am at. I have, of course, no project notes. I'm using my, they're US 4s, which is quite a large needle for lace work. Melodies, which I don't know. Probably, I might switch to metal needles. I don't know yet. Here's what I have. I have no idea where I'm at. This is it, guys. I have no idea what it looks like because although it's been out for years, it's a mystery knit along, right? And I avoided it like the plague, okay? So I have no idea what it's supposed to look like. But this is what I have. Which is a lot for lace knitting, but not nearly enough. And there is some sort of like design element. I think it like is like a flower, but it's really hard to see. It's like I don't think you guys can see it, even if I wanted to show. Okay, so I can't. Okay, so here's one, but it's right near the bottom, so it's gonna be really difficult to show. Right there. Yeah, you guys aren't. I don't know. Maybe when I redo it, I'll take that out because you can't really see it anyway. No, I won't because you know what? I'm the type of person that has to follow the pattern. Can never deviate. So anyway, gorgeous color, right? So, lace. The amount of beading on this shawl, the one thing I do remember is I needed somewhere close to like 1,000 beads or more. Let's see. It doesn't say how many are in each one of these tubes, but I know that I ordered just enough to the point where I was like, hopefully I have enough to finish. Like, okay. These tubes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, there's a lot of beading in this shawl, guys. A lot. I love beading, though. I don't necessarily like lace beading, but I love beading. So this is, they're triangular. So in my shawl that I showed on my Instagram a few weeks ago, is my first shawl I ever knit, I use these same color beads. This is, growing up, like, I love this stone. It's one of my favorite. It's a healing stone. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's magnetic. But I remember there was, my mom and my dad really were very into, like, I don't know what I would call it. I guess like, indigenous, decor and jewelry, and, there was a little shop, and it's closed now, but, where they had, like, locally, they sold a lot of jewelry and stones, like, with healing properties and all that fun stuff, when I was a kid, and I had so many necklaces with this stone in it, because I'm just so incredibly attracted to this stone. And also when we would go to, like, the Rocky Mountains, they would have a lot of stores there. Anytime we went to, like, Tennessee or Virginia, we would always find these little indigenous, or these little shops ran by indigenous, people, and I always picked something out. Typically jewelry. Sometimes, it was just a stone or a bag of stones that was like this, and I can't remember the name of this. I can't remember the name of the stone, and it's bothering me, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, so beading, lots of beading. So, yeah, look at Thursday, guys. It's probably going to be another 6 months or so before I finish this one. Let's be honest. I'm probably going to start it over. Okay, so that's my planned projects, planned cast-ons. So I've got 2 pairs of socks, a review, and my Whip It Thursday project. I think that's plenty for now. No more. And acquisitions. So I only have 1 skein yarn that I purchased, and then a book that I purchased, and a bag that I was gifted. And where did I put, I know I brought them up with me, but I need to find them. So I was gifted, where's my other bag? Oh, I probably put it in this bag right here. Okay, now I know I just had it. Oh, goodness. I'm sure it's probably sitting underneath this pile of stuff over here. Did I bring another bag up, or was that it? Where was it? Where's my coffee? I don't see it. Full disclosure, Levi made me the cutest stitch markers, beaded stitch markers. And I know I had them when I came up here. I hear them in here. There they are. Okay, so first of all, my purchase acquisition. So the first thing that I purchased, or the only thing that I purchased a few things, but one other thing I purchased, but it's dyed to order, so it won't be here for a while. But this is Query Fiber, and I bought their Tits Out colorway. This is on their tweed sock self-striping, and it's color tweed, guys. So it's like a rainbow with gray in between with colored tweed. I saw this. She had knitted up on a sock machine, and I was like, I gotta buy this. So this was a moment of weakness because, you know, guys know self-striping is my weakness, okay? But I've been doing really well. I haven't made a ton of purchases. I purchased 2 skeins of yarn in the past. So since Rhinebeck, I think that brings my total minus the Sortish quantity I did right when I got back, because I don't count that. Or Felicia, I don't count that. So I purchased, I think this was skeins 3 and 4. Because I think I did 2 skeins of nomadic yarns. So, which you guys have already seen. This is called Maypole. So yeah, it's beautiful. And it'll eventually, right now it'll just be added to my self-striping stash. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then guys, Levi had to tell me that I knew I was getting this because I almost went out and bought one. And he was like, I bought that for you, so don't. But this bag, oh my gosh. This is probably going to house my With Grace in Your Heart shawl. So this is by Tanny Casey. And if you guys have not seen her, you need to go look. So TANNEICASEY, Tanny Casey, handmade. And this is Jen Hewitt fabric in the fringe bag style, drawstring style. This is bigger than the fringe bags. I would say I like the quality of the, and it's double thick. So not only does she have like the canvas on the outside, whereas fringe bags is only 1 layer. She's got an extra layer of canvas on the inside that I love. She's got the pocket with the grommets inside. The one thing that's not on here is a handle, but it's a drawstring, so instant handle, right? So, oh my gosh, you guys, I love this bag, and I almost bought more, but I was getting ready to buy, she had a rose gold one, and I literally added it to my cart, went to go check out, and somebody cart jacked me. So I'm just going to keep an eye out for more, because she seems to make the same fabrics and styles over and over again. So I'm in love with this bag. I love it so much. I want more from her. I'm very careful about the bags that I buy because I have so many, and I am a truly dedicated to my fringe bags. It's become a collection for me more than anything else. It brings me joy. I enjoy having the collection. I enjoy the bags themselves. They just suit my personality well. I like all the different colors, all the different styles, all the different prints, specifically the Jen Hewitt prints. Guys, this is totally me. And because they are quite expensive, I can't justify, I only need so many project bags, and I can't justify having a ton of project bag collections. That being said, so French Supply and Levi's bags are probably the only ones that I'm going to be collecting. The other ones will just be one-offs. So for example, the Tanny Casey, I will just pick my favorites and have a few of each, a few of them. Knit for Brains bags are perfect. Those are my sock go-to bags. But she does have ginormous sweater bags too. I have a few of those. And then what's the Bags by Awesome Granny. Oh my gosh, her prints, like her bags are fantastic, but her prints are what get me. So I love her bags. But anyway, so I am very selective with the bags that I buy. Now I used to buy anything and everything. I do need to do a bag de-stash, and I've been talking about it forever. The problem is I have pets, okay? So all of my bags need to be washed. And some need ironed before I can actually feel comfortable enough to sell them, and I just don't have the time. So it will be eventually, you know, maybe I'll one weekend, if I have a long weekend off of work or something, that's what I'll do. But Guys, I love this bag so much. So I will be adding yarn to it this evening after I cake some stuff up. So that was an acquisition. And then these are the stitch markers he made me. Oh my god, you guys. Hopefully I can show these correctly. He hand beaded these. And I've got to put a, see there I go dropping them. I've got to put a hook on them. Progress keeper. I'm just going to try to, you know what? I don't know how best to do this. You guys see that? It's a little beaded bee. It's so itty bitty and so cute. And it does have a loop on top where I can, guys, look at it. It's so cute. So I actually have 2 of them. Oh my god. He hand beaded these, like with beads and thread. He took beads and thread and created these. Guys. Oh my god. His Christmas package was just absolutely so incredibly special. And so sweet. I loved it so much. So, that's what I got from him. My mug and stitch markers and bag. And he absolutely nailed it. Everything in that package was 100% me. I should have brought the bag up to show you. It's glittery pink. It's still sitting on my coffee table downstairs. Glittery pink with pink and purple tissue paper, and so pretty. This coffee is pretty disgusting. It's super cold now. Anyway, last acquisition, and then I will do giveaways. Seamless knit sweaters in 2 weeks. When I first saw Lolo Did It talking about this book, I was like, wasn't really like feeling it. And then guys, I actually saw these knit up and on a model, and I should have tagged these. But I will. Okay, so first of all, one thing that does not make me happy is right on the front top cover, it says, get a perfect fit in any size. And while this is more size inclusive than most, it is not completely size inclusive. This goes up to size, this is by Marie Green, and it goes up to 52-inch busts. Okay, so 52-inch busts on all the patterns, which is pretty good. It's pretty good compared. You know what? No, it's not. Now I'm frustrated because when I was first looking at this book, I was like, oh, I can wear all these sweaters. And I was like talking about it on Instagram. And when I looked, I actually looked at the centimeters by accident. So I was like, oh, this goes up to 72-inch bust. No, it doesn't. It goes up to a 52-inch bust. I'm not a 52-inch bust. I had gotten down to a 51-inch bust. I'm back up to a 54 because I've gained some weight back, which is not unusual for me in the wintertime. But now I'm frustrated because I feel like it's excluding part of the population. So yeah, not very size inclusive, unfortunately, but the designs are beautiful. Some of them I'm not. Okay, so this is going to be like an okay review. When I got this in the mail, I was like, oh my god, I love this book. But the more that I look at it and the more I learn about the book, I remember why I had hesitations in the beginning. So a lot of these patterns, I don't think anybody's going to wear that or knit it. I mean, maybe they will, but to me it looks goofy, not my style. Some of these are just plain boring, but there are some really beautiful ones in here. So let me show you. This one I love. Absolutely love this one. This one is called Staycation Knits, maybe? No, Meridian Striped Pullover. I love that. I think it's classy yet sporty. I like the colors they chose for it. That one's boring. That one's boring. I don't like that one. No. This one's okay, but I like the oversized look of it, but I don't like the and I'm sure somebody does, so this is just my opinion for myself. I don't like the side panel. I think it's, I don't know, not a fan of it. I think it's like a chevron side panel. This one, no. This one, I really don't like. I like the style of this, like the baby doll top. Like, I love baby doll tops. They're very flattering on me, but I don't like the drop stitches that they did at the bottom. Not a fan. I promise there are some in here that I really like. I'm being very negative Nancy right now. Okay, so this sweater. I love this one. It reminds me of the Campsite Cardi, but it's a little more, it's called the Offshore Eyelet Cardigan. And it's a little more flowy, which I think would be great on my body type. I think it's gorgeous. And then we have this one that I love. It's a simple raglan pullover. It's the Cape Creek Minimalist pullover, but I love the ribbing on the sleeves. I love that detail and that color. The color is gorgeous. So that's one. I don't like that one. This one I think is beautiful. And it's like, this one's called the Short Line Textured Cardigan. It's garter yarn overs. And then this one is knit with mohair. It's a very simple basic cardigan, but I love it. I think it's called the Slip Stitch. Let's see, this one is Sandscape Slip Stitch Pullover. I think that one's beautiful. This one, no, don't like that one. Don't like that one. Yeah, it's okay. It's a nice book. I could probably wear these the biggest size if I, wool stretches, so I normally get more ease in my sweaters anyway when I block them, but than what the pattern is designed for. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend it if you're under a 52-inch bust. If you're over a 52-inch bust, it's kind of a risk. And to me, it has probably 4 or 5 sweater patterns in here that I really like. So to me, it was worth the, it was only $14.99 on Amazon. So it's a really great price. And there's 4 or 5 patterns in there that I would knit for myself. So yeah, I mean, to me, after looking through it without knitting any of the patterns, like this would be like a 3 out of 5 for me. I think that it could be more size inclusive. And I don't like that it says on the cover, get a perfect fit in any size, because that isn't the case. It's any size if you're under a 52-inch bust. And there were some sweaters in there that I feel were just kind of thrown in there as fillers, very basic stuff that I've seen several times on Ravelry by other designers. So yeah, but it is worth it for those patterns that I called out because I really like those. So I'm happy that I bought it. So that is it. I will go draw for winners and be right back again. Break number 2. Okay guys, I am back with winners. So our 3 winners, 2 pattern prizes and 1 physical prize. If you won the physical prize, contact me in Ravelry with your address. If you won the pattern prize, contact me in Ravelry and let me know which pattern you would like up to $7 US. So the first winner is the physical prize package, which is Mr. RX Clyden. I hope I'm pronouncing all of these correctly. If not, I apologize. But if you could contact me in Ravelry with your address, I will get you a package out in the mail. The second winner and the third winner are pattern prize winners. And that is number 24, IMECOLL, Imecoll, maybe? and Allison Larray Knits. So if you two could contact me in Ravelry and let me know which pattern you would like, I will give that to you. So congratulations to all winners. Thank you all for participating. We had 47 entries in the thread this month. There were so many socks being completed and a lot of people finishing multiple pairs. So I am proud of you guys, and you guys are motivating me to get some sock knitting done. So congratulations. Next month, well, March this month, at the end of this month, so beginning of April, my first podcast in April, I will be drawing prizes for not only the HBK knit-a-thon, which is, or knit-along, which is any yarns, any projects knit with Honeybee Knits yarn, but also for the Whip It Thursday project knit-along. So which are your languishing whips. So make sure that if you have finished any projects that you are getting them in there. If you are close to finishing projects, you are wrapping those up this month and taking pictures and putting them in those threads, because it is the end of the first quarter almost. Is that right? Yeah, 3 months, every 3 months. Can you guys believe it? So get those in there, and I will be drawing lots of prizes at the beginning of April. I think that's it, guys. Oh, something I want to talk about, because I don't think I talked about it a whole lot here. So I have decided to make the knit-a-thons, weekend-long knit-a-thons that happen once a month. And I will be announcing those weekends on Instagram. It just kind of depends on what my schedule is and when I have time and when I don't. So this weekend was not a good weekend for that. But it will be coming up soon within the next couple weekends. So keep an eye on Instagram and Ravelry for that. It's basically like I open the threads Friday. You have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to post in the threads as much as you want. Show us what projects you're working on. Show us what projects you finished. Chat with other people about their projects, and also use the hashtag that I announce on Instagram for the weekend. And on that Monday or Tuesday, whenever I have time, that in the beginning of the next week, I will draw all kinds of winners from Instagram and Ravelry. So I hope that you guys can join us for that. This ensures that I get at least 1 week in a month where I can join the virtual knit nights that are either hosted by myself or Laura from Crocheting Hoovian. It just kind of depends. I know on Friday nights she has a standing one, so if you're interested in that, go to her Instagram page. She has all the information there, and she has a standing one Friday night, but if it is like a Saturday or Sunday, then I will host it in mine. But I had every intention of getting in there this past Friday, but I just couldn't. Yesterday was just I didn't get, work has been, okay, so let's go into rake and review and some chatter, because, so work has been insane. I've talked about this on Instagram. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of changes, and I have been in the office at least 3 days a week, if not more, for the past couple weeks. I didn't get home. I was at work at 8:30, I left for work at 8 yesterday, and I didn't get home until 6-ish. And then I went straight to packaging orders and shipping those out. So work is just, it's a lot right now. There's a lot going on. I've taken on some new responsibilities, and it's a lot. So that has been stressing me out. I have been super busy prepping for my show last weekend, and then cleaning up for my show, getting ready for my shop update that occurred this morning, photographing and inventorying and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I had to do this week. So it has been, it's like when I get home from work, I'm typically doing shop stuff. So this week I had to dye up the yarn of the month and the March holiday sock sets, which went out this morning. They were a bit late because of my show. I just ran out of time, and then by the time I got my yarn in for my bulk order, it was already delayed, and then it was delayed again because of that. So this month I am trying to get on the ball and get it in earlier. I do apologize, but February is a short month, so it's very difficult to get everything accomplished that I need to. Just, you don't realize how much that extra day or two, how much more stuff you get done because of it. So, that being said, tomorrow I am doing the photo shoot for the March Yarn of the Month Club. So those will be up hopefully by Wednesday at the latest. So those will be up early this month. So you guys should have more time to purchase. And then I will hopefully close them on the 15th so I can start dyeing them up so I can get you guys those no later than the 20th this month. So I'm excited about this month's theme. Also April, holiday sock sets will be going up as well. And I don't think there's a holiday in April, so we might just, do like a spring theme, maybe. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I think that's about it. Just been crazy busy. Jason and I can't remember what we had done and what we hadn't done last time I talked to you guys, but for my anniversary, he got us tickets for our anniversary, he got me tickets to Shinedown, Papa Roach, and Asking Alexandria, and it was so good. It was such a good concert. We went to that on Tuesday, but I was in the office from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in one meeting the entire day. So then I came home. Jason had gotten off work early, jumped in his car. We went to the concert. It was a 4-hour concert. There was 3 full sets and like 15-20 minutes of in between time for one band to switch to the next. And we did not get home till after midnight. And then I had to be at work the next day for another all-day meeting. 2 all-day meetings right in a row this week. So that took a lot out of me. So needless to say, when I came home Wednesday night, I crashed, and then I crashed again on Thursday night. And then last night, I like I said, I got home from work late, did shop stuff, and then we went to dinner, and when I came home, I had a really bad headache, and I've had this headache all week. I cannot shake it. Sometimes, like right now, I don't have it. It'll go away, but it comes back, and I think it's just probably stress. And so last night I went up to bed around 10. I think I played on my phone. I've been learning Spanish on Duolingo. It's an app on my phone for free. I took accelerated Spanish 1 and 2 in high school, but it's been a long time. I graduated high school in 2008, so it's been over 10 years. And I actually took it my freshman and sophomore year, so it's been close to 14 years since I've done, 12 to 14 years since I've done Spanish. And but I want to learn some new languages. I think it's important to be able to interact with other people in our culture, especially if I want to travel. I think it's only fair that if I'm going to visit, that I can at least communicate in their native language. And we go to, I don't want to say we go a lot, but we do visit Mexico and the Caribbean quite a bit, at least every 2 to 3 years. And we're actually due for a visit, and I think we're gonna go probably at the end of this year or beginning of next year. We always take a cruise. So I'm learning Spanish first. My next one will probably be Italian, because Italian, because I am planning, and it'll be a long time before we do this, because I want to be able to take a month and go, and obviously that's not possible when I am working and Jason is working. So, but it'll be planned out at least. Like, I would know where I want to go. But anyway, Italy, bucket list. I want to learn some German. I want to learn French, a little bit of French, and Mandarin. So maybe some Japanese. I know a little bit of Japanese. My grandfather taught me a lot when I was younger. I can communicate, like I can't speak it very well, but I can understand it. So if somebody was talking to me like basic, like hi, my name is, or have a good day, or thank you, or counting ichi ni san go roku nana hachi. So I know a bit bit of Japanese, but I would like to, like Spanish, I would like to learn more. So, and be able to actually speak it and not just understand it. Like I said, ichi ni san, like counting is pretty much all I can speak in Japanese. So that's exciting. I always love when I watch Jess's podcast and she's speaking German, podcast and Instagram. That's Army Wife Knitting Life on Instagram. And I think she changed her podcast name to 2 Sticks and Strings. 2 Sticks and String. And I have been catching up on podcasts, by the way. I hadn't watched podcasts in months. And I got caught up on Yarn Hoarder, got caught up on Knit for Brains. I'm catching up on Jess's podcast. I have a laundry list of podcasts that I would like to get caught up on. And reading, I'd say about Wednesday last week, I stopped doing my 50 pages per day. I did get like about 200 pages in since then, so that's 4 days. So I think I'm caught up to maybe Monday of this week, but today's Saturday and I am trying to do 50 pages 5 days a week. So I do have quite a bit to go. I'm reading The Haunting of Hill House, which was the Netflix series, but the book is completely different than the series. So even if you didn't like the series, you should read the book, and if you did like the series, you should read the book because it is a good book. But the language style is different. It was published in 1959, so it is an older book, and it's not modern English. So the writing style is, if you're looking for something that's just a quick, easy read, like young adult, like easy modern language, this is not it. But it is only like 185 pages, so it can be considered a quick read, but I keep falling asleep. And I don't think it's the book. It might be the writing style, but it also is probably just because I'm tired and stressed. So I would like to get some reading in tonight, but that's probably not going to happen. I'm going to attempt to read a few pages before bed, because at this point it's Saturday, so any reading today is good because Saturdays and Sundays are my reading days off. So since I haven't been reading 50 pages a day, helps me get caught up. Eventually I will. That's pretty much it. I think that's enough. This is like 2 hours long, I think. I have no idea. So anyway, I had a lot to show. I had fun podcasting. 3 weeks have gone by, and I hope to see you guys in a little less than 2 weeks. I'm hoping to podcast on Friday, 2 weeks from now. Maybe not. Maybe Saturday will be my new podcasting day. Who knows? Anyway, either way, I hope to see you in 2 weeks, and I hope I have at least one finished object for you and some whip progress. So I will see you then. Have a good evening or day or whatever time of day you're watching this. Don't forget to go check out my shop update. I will try to put some photos up in here, and have a good day. Bye.